Most people fail to stay consistent. And it's not because they're lazy. They just follow a method that gives them no joy. There's no dopamine release, there's no excitement, just pain every day. So in this video, I'm going to break down the 3 reasons why the gym might not be the best place for you to get in shape. And I'm going to also give you a bonus tip that will completely change your fitness journey. So stay tuned. Reason number 1 is no dopamine, no consistency. See, dopamine is a feel-good hormone and it's also a motivational hormone. When you work out and you enjoy it and you have pure joy out of it, your brain likes that activity. And releasing dopamine is very essential because that's what actually makes the habit stick. So most of y'all struggling with inconsistency, you think it's because you're lazy, right? It's because you haven't just released enough dopamine, or you don't release dopamine when you work out. Or even if you do, it's a very little amount that you release when you work out. So when you're forcing yourself to train at the gym, in a boring gym session, right? Your brain doesn't reward you, and that's what makes you quit, right? So you don't release any of this dopamine, so you just quit essentially. That's one of the primary reasons why you get inconsistent. Not because you're lazy, not because other people at the gym are better than you. It's just because the gym just isn't the right place for you to get your workouts in, for you to train, to get fit, you know? And sometimes I feel like someone needs to come out here and say it, because I feel like the fitness market is making millions and billions of dollars off of this whole thing. Because when a client or you who's watching falls off, you're like, man, I'm not good at this, you know, something's wrong with me. Let me go get another coach so that they could give me the next thing that would keep me working. But guess what? The coach is gonna help you out, right? And you will get back to where you were before. But once the coach leaves and it's just you, why do you think you find yourself falling off again? It's because you don't derive joy from all those boring workout sessions that you do. And the worst of it all is most people do those workouts by themselves, right? And which is even more boring. So this is the exact reason why sports like football, soccer, basketball, you know, baseball, even dancing, boxing, those ones just hit different because you're moving with purpose. I heard this thing one time that says the gym is not the battleground, it's a training ground. Whatever you do outside the gym, that is the battleground. So you come in the gym to train for what's outside. But the thing is, most people treat the gym as the battleground, where there's no battle. Like in all these sports that I just mentioned, right? There's a lot of competition, and this is what keeps you motivated to keep going. The scenario is different all the time when you go, you know? So you don't get bored. It's not a boring workout session if you're playing football. So no dopamine equals to no motivation, and that results to no long-term change. So my first reason is find something that if you did it, you would release enough dopamine to keep you motivated and consistent. Because sometimes the answer is not the gym, because you don't just like how you're training. You're not deriving any joy from that. It's not fun for you. So at some point, you will get inconsistent. And my second reason is this: built-in accountability. If you don't enjoy it, at some point you stop showing up, right? But here's the thing about playing sports, for example. There's accountability because you're not just showing up for just yourself. All of those sports, if you're playing tennis, your opponent is on the court waiting for you. If you're playing football, your opponent is on the pitch waiting for you. Your teammates, they're holding you accountable to show up because you're needed essentially. They need you to perform your part. So if you don't show up, you're not only just letting yourself down, you're letting the whole team down. And I feel like this is one key thing people don't understand, especially people who train alone at the gym. It's a boring session most of the time. That's why I see most people just on their phone after they finish a set because they're bored. If you're enjoying it, you'll be having a good time, you know? Maybe you're having a good time because you're listening to some music, but how much dopamine do you think you're releasing from just pumping iron and then being on your phone, listening to some music? You could have done that at home, right? But my point is accountability. When you play a team sport, you're not just like the rest of the team is holding you accountable to show up so you don't get inconsistent because of that, right? You know you're not just letting only yourself down, but now you're letting the whole team down. And because of that, you go. And if you notice this, I've also experienced this too. Some days, if I don't want to go and I end up going, it happens to be the best day ever because that's when I play the best. That's when we end up winning. And the dopamine release from that is so great. It's so great. So that's my second point. If you show up, if you don't show up, people are going to hold you accountable. So you do show up. So you don't get inconsistent. Unlike the gym, where no one's holding you accountable, especially if you train by yourself. So if you don't show up, it really doesn't matter. Unless you have like a trainer that holds you accountable. But you know how much that costs, right? So my third reason is this. There's lower risk of boredom and there's higher risk of adherence. So put this into perspective, right? When you play team sport, every day you show up, there's a different opponent that has a different skill level that challenges your own skill level, right? So if you think about it, you're always excited to show up the next day because you're not bored. Someone's out there challenging your own skill, and that's very interesting compared to just being at the gym and there's no challenge whatsoever. It's just you versus you, you know? Like, and I'll give you guys a good example with this. Have you ever trained alone and you can only push yourself to do X amount of weights? Let's say on a incline bench press, you can only press a 50. But the one day you train with that strong friend of yours, the one day you train with a friend, you realize, you see him doing an incline and he's on 80 and he's like, buddy, just give it a try. And you try it and you're like, bro, I can do it. But the whole time you had been for months at the gym, stuck at benching 50. You know what I mean? So that's the importance of being in a team sport situation, right? One, not only are you seeing your teammates get better, that pushes you to want to get better. Therefore, you're always consistent because you have a mission now. You're coming to the pitch every day to prove to the next opponent that you came to play that, hey, I just upgraded my skill level. Let me show you what I got now. And that's why I said it's more exciting and you have a higher chance of adhering to the workout compared to just being at the gym by yourself, you know? Let's be honest. Most people leave the gym because it's boring. Same exercise, same reps, same sets, nothing new. Unless you're forced by a coach or some Instagram reel that you saw to change your routine. But in sports, there's always a new game, a better opponent, and a new skill to master. So that's why you keep showing up. And you notice that you stay mentally engaged, and that leads to higher consistency. And you're coming back not because someone is telling you to come back, but you're coming back because you know that there's a new skill to master. There's a new opponent that you're gonna play. So it's a new opportunity to show the opponent the skill you've been mastering for so long, right? Compared to just being at the gym, doing the same reps, the same set, the same exercise, all by yourself. Let's face it, most people just leave because it gets boring, because they feel like there's no challenge. And that's because they're treating the gym as the battlefield instead of the training ground. And here's the bonus reason. When you're playing sport, you really don't know how hard you're working. Think about it. You're jumping, you're sliding from one side to the other, you're running, you're moving, you're doing all of these functional movements at once, right? So you would play a 45-minute football game and not realize the amount of cardio that you have just done. And I think anyone who has ever done any sport can attest to what I'm saying right now, right? Yeah, you're doing all of these things that a 45 minutes treadmill can never give you, never ever. I'll give you an example. The other day I just went to play football with my boys, right? And man, the workout was done and I had already burned almost 2,000 calories, right? Off of just playing football, right? Now, how long on a treadmill do you think it would take me to burn those 2,000 calories? And also, because sometimes we don't understand how much work our body's doing, all that jumping, that sliding, you know, all that running, all that functional movement, that's an all-round exercise for the whole of your body, compared to just doing a chest and tricep workout for 45 minutes at the gym. So think about it. The reward you get at the gym from doing a 45-minute workout versus the reward you get from playing a sport. So, and the thing is this. Most people see guys at the gym that stay at the gym 5 times a week, you know, and they're trying to grow their chest, their triceps, you know, their abs, their arms, and they just think that that's the norm. So they're forced into that. Unfortunately, I was forced into that too. When I was trying to lose all the weight that I had, which I was 50 pounds overweight, and go check my last video, you see I talked a whole lot about it, right? I got my motivation to lose that weight from being in the gym, right? And I feel like in hindsight, that was the bad approach, because I hit a plateau with that, because I didn't really understand why the people I was watching did it. I'll put this into perspective for y'all. The people I was watching were bodybuilders. It really demanded them to be at that gym almost 2 times a day, 5 times a week, because of their sport, because of the sport of bodybuilding. And the thing about that is, bodybuilders really enjoy to do that because they're training for a reason. For them, the gym is a training ground, and their competition being on that stage is actually the battleground, you know? So, but we see these guys and we're like, maybe I'm not consistent enough. Maybe I need to show up 2 times a day and show up 5 times a week at the gym. And then you're wondering why after 3 months you're burnt out. You don't want to come here again, you're inconsistent, and now you're gaining so much weight back, right? You don't even understand what's going on. And unfortunately, I fell for this too. So in January this year, I had to sit back and try to assess why I was at the gym, you know? What brought me here in the first place? And why do I continuously stay here? And then I realized that if I continue what I'm doing, which at that time I was training 5 to 6 times a week, you know, I'm getting bigger. But the goal for me is not to be a bodybuilder. So why am I doing all of this volume? So that led to another question. So if you don't show up as much, you're gonna gain all that weight back. What are you going to like teach your clients essentially? And I was like, you know, and that got me really thinking, and that's where this whole video stemmed from, you know, from me trying to figure out, okay, what do I do to stay in shape now that I have lost that weight and I'm looking like the best I've looked my whole life? How do I maintain this without ignorantly trying to become a bodybuilder, which I am not? So I started looking into sports. I'm like, okay, what sports gives me the most joy? For me, it was football. For you, it would be something different, right? And don't get it twisted, right? The gym is really a powerful place to come and build your strength, your physicality, and other attributes to perform or to enable you perform in whatever sport that you play. So if you're a bodybuilder, use the gym to build your body for the sport of bodybuilding. If you play soccer, use the gym to build your strength and your agility to play soccer better. Same thing if you're a boxer. Use the gym to build your explosiveness, your power, your strength, and everything that you need. But by no means just stick in the gym 5 times a week and call that your end goal, because that's what's gonna lead to inconsistency. So if you've liked this video so far, if it was helpful at all to you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button as well for more videos like this. This is a really first time I'm making this kind of video. Let me show you all how my trail looks like. I'm just walking the trail right now in the morning. It's an amazing view as well, you know. I thought I should share this with y'all. So hopefully this helps someone else out there. Hit that subscribe button like I said, please. I'm trying to get to 10,000 subscribers before the end of the year. But yeah, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Peace out.